Opium Western Radio.
Do I have any children? Probably.
Oh, we're on.
It's always good to come in laughing.
Yes.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Dane.
Hi, Kim.
How are you
Dane.
guys?
Hi, Brian, wherever you are.
We're missing Brian.
I am feeling just
Riggedy.
capital.
Well,
I'm feeling choice. I'm doing choice here. Welcome to the late 80s.
I'm prime.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm manager special. Okay,
Right.
anyway.
There you go.
Yep. One more day and that sucker's going in the dumpster.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Speaking of aging, the late.
Oh, let's not.
Not the late. Right. No.
I got a birthday coming up. I got a birthday coming up. I feel a little tender right now. It's not quite one of those special birthdays where you put a zero on the end of it. I'm knocking on that though. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
You don't look a day over 30. You
Right.
handsome
thank
devil,
you.
So are you guys going to still be touring when you're 90 years old?
You know,
I sure am.
I look at Buddy, like we wanted to talk about today, and man, that voice, I was blown away at how strong his voice is still. Just amazing.
Yeah, the legendary Buddy Guy.
Yeah.
He has been around since the 50s in the music industry.
Yeah.
And 1950s, by the way. And worked with some legendary folks like Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton and so many. Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters was kind of his mentor in the beginning. Turned 90 recently, and he is celebrating it with a cross-country tour. That is mind-blowing to me at 90 years old.
Truly, I sent you the video, but it was from about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Playing a little joint. I don't know where it was. And I was thinking, when he goes to sing, it's just not going to be there. It's just not going to be there, man. It's gone. He's 90. Oh, no, it's there.
Yeah.
I stopped me in my tracks. Just solid, pure musical tone to that guy's voice at 90. Stunner.
Yeah, and he's playing guitar still too.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Masterfully.
Well, you can play guitar till you're in the 6 feet under. That's as long as your fingers can move. But
you can play guitar till you're 6 feet under.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but
if your voice is the wild card because it's a muscle.
Yeah.
And you have to keep it in shape.
So is your fingers and all your limbs and everything. Yeah. And the greatest thing on this subject, the greatest thing about playing any instrument is that the older you do get, you can adjust your technique and your approach to do what your body is capable of doing. Okay, like I probably can't play as loud as I used to when I was in my 20s. I probably can't play as fast. Yeah, I can't play as fast or anything, but I think that playing can mature over time, and you just find ways to make it work. And it's the choice of notes that you play a singable melody.
It's playing fast on a guitar, playing fast on drums. It's just you're obviously you don't know the importance of foreplay. As you get older, you realize
you have to be clever.
It's not about fast. It's about subtlety and depth and finesse. And then people are in the mood, and then great things follow.
Right.
You're probably wondering what I'm talking about right now, aren't you?
You're talking about being masterful about your craft, right?
There you go. Right.
I think,
wink, nudge, nudge, wink.
With guitar, the ones that have always fascinated me were the ones that can play a singable melody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get a guitarist that can play singable melodies, to me that's great. Now I went through speed many years ago and interest in speed. Van Halen, Dokken, and all these guys who could play a million notes a second. I used to think, wow, that's what you got to do to be good. But the more you mature, it's the melody that you play in addition to playing fast. because there's only so fast that you can play your notes to where it just doesn't sound like music anymore. I could play a fast lick on the drums, but all you hear is fast, and you don't hear a groove, and you don't hear a danceable melody. You can actually play melodies on the drums, and I won't get deep into that because drummers understand. But if you can sing something that's a memorable melody and something that you can relate to me, that's great. And I think you can play that at any age.
Nice. This all reminds me of a Toby Keith quote. I'm gonna go country on you for a second.
Love Toby Keith. Yeah.
I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was.
I love it. That says it all right there. Yeah.
I tell you what, that guy was a master.
Yes.
I love Toby Keith. I miss Toby Keith.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Well, and I wanted to mention also, in addition to continuing to be a phenomenal musician at the age of 90, Buddy Guy also had a movie role just last year. I haven't seen it yet. Here's another one for your list, Steve.
Yay!
I haven't seen it.
This will be number 6.
It's called Sinners.
Sinners.
And
I guess I'm the one out of the three of us that have.
That's another catchy title.
Yeah,
it's just an absolute badass movie.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
There are sequences in it that, I mean, granted, it's a quote unquote horror movie, but there are sequences in it that are just, the artistry it'll just knock you on your ass. I think that's the great thing about this movie. I don't know. I know it won some Academy Awards, but
it's one of a lot of awards, and I read up on it today in quite depth. I want to go see it immediately.
Yeah, but Buddy's at the end of it. He's sitting in a bar, and he plays the elderly version of the young blues player in the 30s, and it's my kind of horror movie, honestly, because I wouldn't even call it a horror movie.
Is it more of a thriller? It sounded more like a thriller.
It's a piece of art, I gotta say. I mean, the way they incorporate music into these sequences in the movie is just hypnotic. It's amazing, and I have so much respect for the guys that made this movie. They are 100% legit. I mean, they made an absolute work of art. It's great, and Buddy's at the end of it, and it's just the way they brought him into the movie, and it's kind of like they bring some. It's really cool.
You talk about it being a piece of art, a work of art, and then yes, it won 4 Academy Awards, and then it won some other awards outside of that.
Yeah,
and I really did do a deep dive on this movie because it just kept pulling me in, and they took the music director took it super seriously because it really is set like around the blues and that area of Louisiana and the blues scene. The director of music went and spent time at the B.B. King Museum in Indianola, Mississippi, which it's amazing. It is an amazing place, and also hung out at some of the blues bars around there. I'm glad to hear that really came through in the movie.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I would say drop what you're doing and go watch the movie. Nice. It's literally like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou meets Interview with a Vampire.
Yes, new one.
It's literally like Interview with a Vampire meets Oh Brother, Where Art Thou.
Wow.
With some really tasty blues stuff thrown in.
All right, I'm in.
How does that compare to something like Crossroads? Crossroads is one of my favorites.
You're apples and oranges, brother, on that one.
Oh, okay. I just love Crossroads because I'm also a big Steve Vai fan.
Yeah. What is Crossroads?
Have you seen Interview with a Vampire?
Macchio. No.
Movie guy. Okay, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to
hijack you for a week.
Your badges. Okay.
Kimberly, watch Crossroads because it's got Ralph Macchio playing guitar or playing the role of a young guitarist.
Oh, interesting.
And it's got Jamie Gertz in it, and the whole soundtrack is done by two guitarists, one Steve Vai and Ry Cooder, the famous blues slide guitarist. And the soundtrack is just absolutely jaw dropping.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
Crossroads.
even if you YouTube the battle that Ralph Macchio has with Steve Vai. Jack Butler is the guy's name, and Eugene is the guy that plays Ralph Macchio. I think I got that right. It's been years, but it's just it's amazing. They have a duel at the end of the movie. It's really great.
I may have to watch that one before Sinners because I am just my mind is not grasping the idea of Ralph Macchio in a serious music role.
He actually is acting out playing the guitar. He doesn't. That's not him, of course.
Right.
Playing the guitar. But and I don't know if in real life he actually does play guitar. He probably does and all that. But he's actually playing the parts that Ry Cooder played, and then Steve Vai actually plays himself. Well, that's Steve Vai's playing, but he plays a guy named Jack Butler.
Okay.
And but that's Steve Vai's playing, and Ry Cooder's playing is what Ralph Macchio is mimicking his fingers along with.
I'm gonna throw one more movie at you guys.
Yeah.
Since we're talking movies. I recently watched Song Sung Blue. Good.
Song Sung Blue. I gotta see it. Yeah.
It's very rich. It's not a horror movie.
I wouldn't have guessed.
But it's so good.
Doesn't sound like a splatter movie to me.
No. And it's not cheesy or corny at all. It is one of those movies that just really grabs you, and at least for me it was. And it's like when you finish it, you feel like something shifted. Really good. I did have another question for you guys since we're talking music. Steve, do you play the guitar?
Very badly.
Yeah.
I know about 3 chords that I can play pretty well. I can, pick up a guitar and kind of be fun at parties or something like that, but I can't do any leads. I can do some comedy stuff, but probably about 3 or 4 chords or something like that. I sang a Steve Martin song to Dane and Kelly a couple of months ago when I was over there, and I got a laugh out of them. But piano is my instrument away from the drums and singing. But I really don't play guitar that well, so I just leave it. I just leave it up to the people who really can play.
You're like multi-instrumental,
like Mr. Dane.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say multi because, the piano, I really can't play any other instrument other than drums, percussion, piano, but only when I write music. I mean, when I'm composing music or when I'm kind of picking away at an Elton John or a Billy Joel type song or a 70s ballad. That's the extent of my piano expertise. I mean, I can't play Great Balls of Fire and not like that. And I can't play Mozart or something like that. And I can't play jazz nearly as well as, just people who can do it. But
right.
I love the 70s stuff. And I think I can kind of hold my own on some,
Yacht
Elton
rock
John
radio.
Yacht rock. There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
And a lot of times I just sit by the piano or the keyboard and just come up with something, whether it's soundtrack stuff or just anything that I think sounds good. It's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. Nothing too out there. Yeah.
Well, it's more than I can do. Well, same question, Dane. Do you play other instruments besides the guitar?
Well, I've dabbled, but I've found that, for a blues guy, the piano just kind of leaves you wanting. I just there's something so much more tactile, and physical about playing the guitar, especially for blues, which is such a visceral experience. The piano just doesn't do it justice. Yeah, that's so. I could probably noodle around the piano a little bit, but that's kind of the cool thing about the nucleus of Opium Western is Steve brings a melodic quality that I don't have, and I bring a blues quality that he didn't have.
Nice.
And then
And
we
Dane,
meet.
you also bring.
And then we meet in the middle rhythmically. That's our connection, is our shared lunacy, of course, but just this this love of a groove. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Steve and I
Dane,
have that in spades.
You also have a great rhythmic quality about your playing that a lot of guitarists that I've worked with don't have. You have a very strong sense of rhythm.
Yeah.
There are guitarists that I play with that can just play ideas for days and play brilliant
that's kind of the
stuff,
difference between an
but you
engineer
can
and a
lock in.
designer. Yeah,
Yeah, you can
engineers
lock
are
in.
very.
Let me
Engineers are
unpack that a
very.
little. I'm sorry. Let me unpack that a little because some of us are lost. So,
Okay.
what do you mean by that, Steve? What do you mean between rhythmic?
Okay. Let's say that that we're playing a blues tune, and then we're playing. I'll just pick something out. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Now, I have played with musicians who have played the song "Cold Shot." Now, Dane's sense of rhythm is spot on when he plays blues, when he plays a rhythm. He can play something that I can really lock into. Then I come in and it locks in, and it sounds like that. It sounds like a computer is quantizing us completely together. Now, I have worked with other guitarists that play the same song that don't have the rhythmic precision that Dane has. One guy years ago would play it like this. Mechanical. Kind of a ta 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 ta. There was another guy that I played with. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was a blues player, and he rhythmically he was all over the place. But he was a charismatic performer. Everybody loved him, and he was great to play with.
I'll tie this in with a movie. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
There was a recent movie. I think it's the James Brown story. Forgive me, I don't remember who the actor is that plays James.
Yeah.
But there's a very poignant scene where he's sitting in the rehearsal room with his band, and he's just fed up, as James Brown, got.
Yes.
And he would come up and he would point to this instrument. He go, "What's that, man? What's that thing you're holding, man? Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. What's that thing? What is that thing you're holding, man?
Wow.
What is that thing? It's a bass. No, it's not, man. Next. All right. Go to the saxophone player. What's that thing you're holding in your hand, man? What is that thing?" And finally, one of his musicians said, "A drum." Yes. Every single one of his musicians, regardless of their instrument, were playing the drums. And that's how he whipped those dumbasses into shape and made them the rhythmic beast that they were.
That makes sense.
Oh,
you're not just playing guitar, my friend. It's a drum.
Right.
Treat it as such.
Kimberly, did that answer your question about rhythmic?
It's another great movie. Watch that movie.
Yes, it did, Professor Steve.
It's amazing.
No, because Kim, I am glad that you asked me that, because I love talking about things like that, because I've been a music teacher for so many years.
Right.
And I tell people that rhythm is important, not just for a drummer, but it's important for everybody. If you're playing anything like a saxophone, if you play it like this, you can't lock into anybody.
Gotcha.
And so everybody has. So it's important for melodic people with melodic natured instruments to lock into to have
and
the same
that was
rhythmic
the thing I
position,
loved about
and
my
the
dual
drummer
sound, being
and the
in
drummer has to have harmonic sense. The drummer has to know at least working knowledge of music theory. As far as chord progressions are concerned, melodies.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
I
wow.
because
mean, I imagine playing with
if
a
you think
drummer as great as he is that doesn't know what it means to play the difference between a verse and a chorus, other than the
that's right.
Right.
dynamic.
That's right.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just memorizing a part, and that's
Right.
Yeah,
not that doesn't cut it. I have to
no,
know. I was a music major for so many years, and
Mhm.
I had to learn. I had to learn theory. I had to learn piano. I had to learn harmonic. Um, part writing. And back then I was like going, "Oh, I'm a drummer. When am I ever going to use this?" Well, I'm telling you. I have used nearly every bit of it.
yeah.
Wow. So that's
Because
so interesting because you're so knowledgeable and learned. You have the backbone to, to fall back on and to understand why these things resonate, why they all work together. But
Oh
there's
yeah.
some people who just step into it. How does that work?
You can't
well,
teach you can't teach somebody to do this. That's why I laugh at the
there
whole School of
are
Rock.
people who
I
there
laugh
are
at the
people
School of Rock thing. You can't
there are people
teach
who are self-taught.
anybody.
Hmm.
When you when you really latch onto a groove, it's literally like taking a bite out of the juiciest, most delicious bite of steak you've ever had. It's just
Mhm.
and
Well,
the juice is just pouring through your teeth, and you're sucking it down, and that's that's locking into a groove.
that's a very colorful
You cannot
description.
teach
That's
somebody that, and that's that's
something.
having traveled coast to coast, Florida, California, and I come back here to play with my brother Steve. I can tell you that Steve and I do that intuitively.
Yeah.
We lock into a
I
groove,
swear. I
and
swear.
we, as
If I
much
would have,
Mhm.
as cerebral as we are about rock music or just music in general, we're still very visceral in our connection
That's
about
what I'm
that damn
getting.
beat.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah. There's a visceral component to it, but there's also a very heady analytical component to it if you so
Yep.
choose to go down
But
that path.
Yeah, and then you get me
but
into
there are
pilot zone where you talk about flying an airplane when it's sublime flying an airplane. It's literally an art and
but
a
there
science.
But Kimberly, I do have to add this: as much music theory as Dane and I have learned over the years, when we get on stage and we're playing, we take all the cerebral and all the theory part out, and we just
Right.
play we play what we feel. We play
Yep.
from instinct, and that's from all the years of playing. And
Right.
playing gets you to where you can be in that mindset. Now, Kimberly, a second ago, you mentioned people who just get up and do it. Now, yes, there are a lot of people who are self-taught, who have never stepped foot in a music theory class that can play brilliant. That is
Hmm.
amazing. There are a lot of people who can do that. And
Hmm.
those people amaze me. And I'm just thinking to myself, all that schooling that I did to be able to play all this stuff that I've been asked to play, and this guy learned it, and or this person learned it on his own.
Right.
That's incredible. But there are a lot of people out there that just learn by doing it,
Hmm.
and then they learn theory as they went along. But and it doesn't matter how you learn. That's important. It matters that you do learn. There are people that study theory, but see, there are people that study theory for years, but don't have the same soul. That they don't have soul because they're still in their head. But when you
Hmm.
get up, no matter if you learned it in a classroom or if you learned it on your own, when you perform blues, rock, jazz, when you're playing from the soul, it has to come from the soul. And
Yeah.
if you can't do that, then you're just you just it doesn't work. But
Right.
the people that study by themselves, and the people that didn't have the luxury of going to school or something like that, they just did it all of the time. Every chance they got, they were
Right.
behind their instrument, and made mistakes until they got it. They were just, it just depends on how badly you want to play, you know.
Right. And it's
But
just
but it's
probably like any craft. There's some people who come to it through a learning path like a college or a school, and some people come to it through an internship or an apprenticeship, and
mhm.
some people just go out there and learn to mow those lawns,
that's
without any
that's
training
exactly right.
whatsoever, right?
That's that's exactly right. There are things that
Yeah,
I learned. There are things that I had to learn just by watching that I can't conceptualize or I can't go into theory. I just do it. And
right.
but I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I like to do things. I like to maybe do a little nuts and bolts on it and kind of figure it out and then take it internal. So then
That's
you're
right.
operating on that intuitive level, that gut level for a lot of it. And sometimes people ask me, well, why did you do that? Or why did you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. I remember, I learned it somehow and then I just let it go because I didn't need
Yeah,
the book knowledge anymore. I need
absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
muscle memory of it or the gut level memory of it. So yeah, it's interesting. It's
It's
all
almost like, yeah, it's like, how did you learn? Is that how you learned your craft as a, in radio broadcasting? Because now,
oh well, that's
because
a great question.
you're very talented in what you do, and I hope I'm not straying too far away from the subject or anything, but how you learn, when you're doing a podcast, when every time you interview or I hear you in an interview, you flow so well with the people, and you can either learn that in school or you can just learn that just uh, naturally having those
Yeah.
qualities. I think you actually have those qualities naturally,
Oh,
and
so kind.
you do. And but did you go to school for broadcasting?
I did. Yeah, I did. I did both. I actually
Okay,
dabbled before I went to school and then I've done continuing ed over the years. So I've done both. Just a
that's
lot of
great. You
experience and a
learned.
lot of training. Yeah.
That's great. That's why you're so
Yeah.
good. Well, that's why Dane is, so great at what he does is because he's studied the theory and he has street smarts.
Well, I think when you really care about doing something well, then the
Yeah.
studying is just second nature. It's just part of what you do.
It's passion. You just
Yeah.
really have to love it. Really,
Mhm.
really have to love it. And not only passion, but the most important ingredient to me is determination.
Yeah.
Passion is one thing. You can be passionate about something, but that's not going to guarantee you're going to be good at it until you're really determined. Like
Mhm.
I have a passion for studying aviation and watching people on the computer fly a plane,
Do you?
but I have absolutely no intention of ever learning how to fly
Right.
because I was in a
And
simulator.
that right there underscores
I,
why that helps to explain why general aviation is dying.
Oh. Well,
Okay,
that
well,
sounds like a
because
I was in
sad
a
road.
simulator.
I don't know
I
if I
was in
want
a
to go down there.
simulator one time. I was in a simulator one time with a pilot, and I learned and just one time, and I did well until I had to land. I crashed, and then he said, and then I said, we probably could have survived it. How fast were we going when we hit? And he goes, oh, such and such knots. And I go, how fast is that? And he goes, about 150 miles an hour. And I go, we're dead.
Oh,
I'll just
yeah.
wow.
I'm
Oh,
just gonna
wow.
I'm
Well,
just
now
gonna
listen,
I'm just gonna be a
I've got my commercial license, and I almost went after my
I'll be a
flight
passenger.
instructor certification, and so
Yeah.
and I had my own airplane for quite a while, and
But you're not
eh,
going to crash us. You're not going to let us
Yeah.
crash.
yeah, the problem is people think a simulator teaches you anything, and it doesn't.
Okay.
It just teaches you procedures. Are we talking about
Yeah.
music or flying? I'm lost now.
No, we're going to change the subject completely because
Okay, good.
last time we were together, we
That was
talked
my fault.
about some paranormal stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
On the
we've
subject, yeah.
gotten so much feedback, so many great like quotes and stuff. People really loved
Oh,
loved that conversation. So I wanted to just check in with you guys. Um, how are you feeling after our last talk? And have you had any paranormal experiences this week?
Frightened. Very frightened. I can't sleep at night. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we're down here in we're in Civil War territory, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of casualties in this area that weren't recorded. There are people that went to their maker without any acknowledgement, no tombstone, no proper burial. And it shows down here. And on top of that, there's
wait. It shows how.
Uh, uh, let's just say things that go bump in the night. But
okay. What?
yeah, it's everywhere down here. You're talking about the Civil War, which was 21 million people in the North versus 9 in the South, and half of that 9 million were slaves. Okay, and the South never had a chance, and that's what I think makes it so romantic. Is they fought for their cause, as horrible as it was, they fought for it, and they died for it, and it's really an incredible time in our history. And you're talking about 650,000 people that died in the course of that war. And it all happened in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, Virginia. I mean, it's all through this area. It's very profound. And you come down here, and what you hear going bump in the night probably isn't the wood cricking. It ain't. And it's not a bird, popping into the window. There's energy down here that's not resolved.
Interesting way to put it. Interesting way to put it. What do you? I think I know what you mean by that, but can you just kind of expand on that a little bit more? The energy.
When I was in, I think it was not Franklin. It was Chattanooga. I played a Harley Davidson dealership there. And right around the corner, I was thinking there's got to be Civil War cemeteries around here. There's got to be. And I started Googling and GPSing and looking around. And lo and behold, the closest Civil War cemetery was right behind our motorhome. Boom.
Oh, wow.
50 yards. And we were literally playing the gig maybe 7,500 yards from this cemetery. And Kelly and I walked into this place, and it was small, and these beautiful oaks that were growing in it were just gigantic, and they were tiny, back in that time. I mean, it just spoke to me. And the tombstones all read, 1865, 1866, 1864. They were all Civil War grave sites. And then you go into Chattanooga, and there's massive Civil War cemeteries in Chattanooga. I mean, compared to, like, the cemeteries in Virginia and forgive me, it's where all our military veterans are buried that want to be, what I'm blanking on the name, but
you're talking about back east?
There's
Arlington?
Arlington
thank you.
Cemetery.
Yeah, well, my stepdad
that's
is
in
buried.
Washington D.C.
Arlington, thank you. Yeah, Arlington. Yeah, my mother is buried there with my stepdad.
My cousin is too.
Yeah, but you go to Chattanooga,
Oh, my
and there's
uncle.
some
Sorry.
really, really big Civil War cemeteries there, and there's just
I've been there.
A lot of
And
unresolved energy down there. And it's in the rocks, it's in the ground, it's in the trees. That energy is everywhere.
So it's just palpable. You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can sense it.
Well, you had a good quote from the last one where, when you're open to music and for the sake of composing, you just have to open yourself like a door. That same mechanism, for better or worse, opens to what else is there. And you have to protect yourself, but there's so much more there than Hello, wasp. It's got a
Stay
wasp in
away.
that
Stay away from the
rig.
wasp.
Yeah. But it's just it's everywhere. This is the Civil War South down here, and it's beautiful, and the music is incredible, and there you go.
Interesting take on
Bob
that.
Jack.
Isn't
Have you
there?
ever?
Isn't
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, I was just going to add that in Springfield, Missouri, off of Battlefield, there is a huge cemetery.
Civil War.
I think it's Civil War. I've passed by it, and I need to visit it sometime, or maybe do some research. But it seems like every business that I do uh, in Springfield, I always seem to be in a hurry. So
To get out.
I'm pretty sure that that it has to do with the Civil War, because there's just rows and rows and rows, of stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would
There
I
was a
would
lot of casualties that weren't acknowledged. A lot of people that a lot of men that died in fields. Uh, yeah. Anyway.
Interesting. Have either of you ever been to like a medium or a psychic? Have you ever had
Oh
that
no,
kind of an experience?
I haven't had the pleasure. That would be kind of fun. That would
Maybe
be
we,
kind of fun.
maybe we should bring
I
one
was I
on.
was told that I basically am I basically am a medium. So there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
So what kind of have you actually had a conversation with the other side?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well, you can't stop there. We need
Well,
more.
there's personal versions of it, and then there's kind of generic versions of it.
Uh-huh.
Um, Not generic, but more um, versions where I was unrelated to these people, and then there's
Okay.
versions where I was definitely related. And years ago, I discovered that here you go. Here's an opium western tidbit for you. I'm not actually a mulligan,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, I discovered that. I discovered something I was never supposed to know
Mm.
because of my blood type, because I'm B positive, and if your mother's an O positive and your dad's an O, they can't have a B positive
You
son.
can't be B positive now.
Anyway, yeah, so I discovered who my real dad was,
Oh, interesting. That was
and
through like a
here's
conversation with
some
the other side?
well, here's some juice for you. When my mother passed, God bless her, God rest her soul, because she said when I confronted her about it, I said, "Mom, I think there's something here to the story. What's your blood type?" And that she I'll never forget that moment where she said
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna take this to my grave.
Mm.
But
Wow.
yeah, my real dad was an opera singer in Portland and went to Juilliard and anyway, my mother passed oddly enough about 2 years later because of COVID and all the crap ass vaccines and all that lie. And she was stage 4 and gone. And
Mm.
I had a dream about a waking dream. It was a waking awareness where I heard my mother's voice and she said, "I have someone I want you to meet."
Mm.
And my real dad died in 1975, apparently, of a heart attack. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I think he drank himself to death, but that's another story. But yeah, so on a personal level, I've had really overpowering experiences, and I've had
Wow.
experiences with spirits that I have no connection that I know of to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that were on a poltergeist level where I was staying at my mother's house in the basement and I had pictures of my daughter who I was missing very much on this
Mm-hmm.
bookshelf and turned out the lights to go to sleep and then probably about 2 or 3 in the morning I started hearing a finger sound of a flicking of fingernails on paper and I thought that's my pictures of my daughter and I turned the light on and all the pictures were on the floor.
Mm.
Something had knocked them
I
off
just
the
got
shelves.
goosebumps.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Mm.
I've had paranormal experiences to the point where I know I have to pull back. I have to pull back. I do.
Wow.
Because I can go too far, and I don't need to do that. And nobody needs to do that. And so yeah, it's I think I'm not the only one that I'm sure has had this kind of connection between music and the flow of music through them, and awareness of the paranormal, and which is kind of a trite name, honestly, because I don't know what you want to call it. You know, they're probably looking at us like, you know, you boring fleshies, you mortals, you're so boring. But yeah.
It's a learning ground. We're on a learning ground, but I think that's fascinating. We learned a couple things about you, Steve. We learned that where your musicality comes from. Was your mom musical too?
Actually, yes. My parents were very musical. They didn't pursue it professionally, but my mom was is a great singer. She's got a fantastic, beautiful alto voice with a very rich vibrato that she still uses. See, my mom is hearing impaired. She's become hearing impaired over the years, and she's legally hearing impaired, and she has to have a hearing aid. And there are certain situations, a lot of situations where if she doesn't wear the hearing aid, she can't hear at all. Okay. But we have my mom and I have a very mystical and a very magical way of communicating, even though she can't hear my voice. Now she can put her hearing aid in and be able to hear me, but then she won't be able to hear my dad or something like that. But my mom, when I go visit her and then the TV is on, she has to have the caption, and my mom will be on her phone on the computer. My mom is very political. My mom watches political channels and the presidential debates and discussions and all that.
She's got C-SPAN on.
She has her. Yes, yeah, it's always C-SPAN and everything. Okay, but she'll be on her computer, she'll be on her phone, and she will hum. She will be humming a melody, and she still has the most beautiful voice. I feel like I'm a kid again, and she was singing me to sleep because she used to sing me to sleep. She used to sing to me all the time. And I think that the reason why I got interested in singing is being a kid and listening to her voice, and then I internalized it. And then my dad also, we sang in church together. My dad was the liturgist at our church for as many years as I can remember. It's like a Methodist deacon, and so he would be the liturgist. And then when he wasn't the liturgist that morning, he would be sitting next to me, and then we would sing the hymns together. And he has a rich, or he doesn't sing anymore, but he had a very, very rich bass and baritone voice, and he could read music very, very fast because he was a trumpet player. My mom played saxophone and clarinet in the band in high school and college. My dad played nearly every kind of brass instrument there was, everything from trumpet to cornet, and they were both in the choir. And that's where they met. They met at Hutchinson Junior College in the band.
Oh,
and my mom played sax. My mom played saxophone. My dad played trumpet. They hooked up, and they also both sang. So there was always music going on in my family. And when my mom slowly lost her hearing, I just thought, oh my gosh, she actually literally cannot hear me play. I can't even play a recording on the phone with she can't hear it.
Right.
It'll just sound like a jumbled mess. My dad still can, and he's still just proud that I'm just still playing and all that. But when I went over to my parents' house, my mom started humming this song. And I said to her, I was like, Mom, what is that? And she says, oh, I'm just singing. And I said, it sounds like a song. It sounds like something you used to sing to me. And she started giggling, and she goes, oh, and then she started singing it to me. She actually wrote a song. He actually wrote a song, and I said, "Let me get a pen and paper." And I went and I got a pen and paper, and then she sang me the lyrics, and I wrote them all down. And I said, "Mom, I'm gonna when I get home, I'm gonna put a piano to this," and I did. But I can record it, but she won't be able to hear it, and that breaks my heart. But I told her I would, and I did. And someday I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna record it at a studio, and I'm gonna say this is a song that my mom wrote, and she wrote the melody, and she wrote the lyrics, and it's just
we'll
beautiful.
Make that a track on the album.
That's me, and that's me playing. Yeah, so it's things like that. And my mom loved country music, and she loved folk music. She loved Judy Collins. She loved Joan Baez. Yeah, she can sing like that. My dad loved Gordon Lightfoot. My dad loved Simon and Garfunkel, and then he got into Kansas, and then he got into some heavier stuff. Rock and roll. He was always interested in keyboards and synthesizers and all that.
Your dad cracks me up. I remember we were playing a show. I think it was at Steampunk, and your dad just happened to be in town. And I tell you, man, at that point, I hadn't really dialed into that dual sound thing that I was trying to make work. And I remember I came back to the table where he was sitting with you after the first set, and he looks at me and he goes, "So yeah, Dane, is this your first band?"
Oh no.
Oh my God.
So he's pre-haunting
I didn't know
you.
that.
Just instantly was cut at the knees, just crumbled like a house of
cards. Know that.
But I
didn't know
I took
that.
it in stride because I know I have experience, man. I've been there, done that with a lot of band stuff. But this was such a freakish animal that I was trying to do, and you were playing drums with me. But your dad was like, in so many words, he basically said, "So are you going to go back and woodshed on this a little more, you dumbass?"
Aw.
Oh my God! I did not.
You weren't privy to that conversation, but I earned a profound level of respect for your father in that moment. I really did.
My dad is my best friend, and
I can see why.
To be fair, back then, on that very night that he came in, at that time, I was going through turmoil in my life, and he knew it.
So was I, man.
I was having. We both were, and my dad knew it.
But that's okay, because I realized in that moment that your dad had some skills under his belt.
Yeah,
that there was more to this guy than I knew, and I was very diplomatic, and I said, "Yeah, no, it's not my first band, but it's."
So you guys both have a pedigree, is what I'm hearing here. You both have like musical chops in your background.
Mine was hidden.
He is very proud of. He is very proud, and I've talked to him many times over the past several months that you've came back in town and we've been playing, and he is proud of both of us. He goes, "Man, it sounds like you guys are doing really well." He's heard the recordings and he goes, "This is great."
That's cool.
He loves it.
Nothing like a parent's
and I said, "Dad,
love."
when you heard Dad, he's used to hearing me, in 5 or 6 piece bands or something like that, and he said, "This stuff is really good."
Yeah.
That's sweet. And Steve, I want to throw you back though.
I
want to go back to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Based on Dane's story,
sure.
The fact that your mom can't hear the song now doesn't mean anything, because at some point she will be able to hear it. Maybe just not on this plane.
Yeah.
I think that she can hear it in her mind, and she can hear it in her heart without actually, because over the years, like in my early years in the music business, she and my dad used to come out and hear me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she would say, "Oh, Steve, your band sounds really good." So she has heard me play. She's heard me sing. She's, heard me practice and all that.
And she'll hear your song that you wrote together
there's
too.
just been a life. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she can hear herself sing, and she can stay dead on the money on pitch. And it just amazes me how she can do that, and she can sing the same lyrics over and over again. And so the song is beautiful. I need to play it for you. I need to work on it. Doesn't really have a title yet, but it's called the chorus. She says, "I'll still be loving you."
Oh,
Like when the seas
Beautiful.
I'll still be loving you. And the lyrics are just absolutely just beautiful. They'll bring a tear to your eyes. And I want to sing it. I want to bring it out to people. I want to go in the studio, record it, put it on YouTube, and just say, this is me on piano, and this is me on vocals, and my mom wrote these lyrics, and my mom wrote the melody, and I did the piano.
That's amazing.
You know,
yeah,
that's what I want to do. And I'll just say, Mom, I put it out there.
Can't wait to hear it.
And yes, it does break my heart that she won't be able to hear it without it sounding like because she hears certain frequencies, and the frequencies that she hears interfere with with her hearing. And
she'll visit you in your dreams. She'll hear it in your dreams.
Yes. Yeah. I want to add to this. You asked Dane a second ago about, have you had paranormal, have you spoken or something like that? Now, I personally haven't, but what I experience a lot is reoccurring dreams. I have a lot of the same dreams that I've had for years and years, and they're the same style of dreams.
Are they happy or
could
scary?
Be nightmares too.
Okay.
They're scary, and they're chaotic. I have had dreams of going back of my college years, to where I go to school for the first day, and I can't find anything. I can't find where my classes are. I can't find, or I ace every class, and then I discover that I didn't go to this one class the entire semester because I didn't know it was on my schedule, and my GPA ends up plummeting.
Oh my goodness.
And I have to take it again or something like that. Yeah.
What a horrible dream.
Somebody is going to analyze that for you, and we're going to share that.
Or there have been many dreams where I take on a teaching gig.
And I didn't know it was on my schedule.
I know. And then there's another one. Where I take on a teaching gig, and I cannot seem to remember my schedule, and I go there, and 5 students have been there for, and I end up being late. Now, I've had mistakes before in my life, but not that severe. I don't know why I keep having these. I don't know why I keep having these dreams about
I don't know,
chaos.
but
and then I wake
change the name from Opium Western Radio to Opium Western Therapy Session.
Right.
Therapy, yeah. But
I'm making a list of guests to bring on. We need a psychic. We need a therapist.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I have no idea why I have reoccurring nightmares about that. And that's hardly the worst thing that can happen, but I don't know why I keep having them.
Wow, sense of lack of control or something.
I'm looking around my house, and I can't seem to and all the lights one by one keep going off, and I keep, changing the bulbs, and then another light goes off, because I love, soft romantic lights. Yeah, I don't like big, bright lights or something like that, but I like soft romantic lights. And if one bulb goes out, I'll go out and buy another one right away, and then replace it. I don't like to see a lamp out. I don't like to see.
Yeah.
I'm just weird that way.
That's how they talk to us.
We won't let you go too far off the rails,
I'm just
Steve. We got your back.
that way. Yeah.
We got your back.
And then in the dream, yeah, and then in the dream, it's like I go crazy. I'm like going, why are these lights going off? And then I'll wake up and everything's fine. Then
My
I'll go to work.
goodness. So you're being haunted in your dreams. You just don't know who it is.
I'm being haunted. I'm being haunted in my dreams. But
We all
once I
are.
wake up, everything's cool.
All right. Well, go ask the ghosts in the
Everything's
closet.
cool.
They might have some clues for you.
Well, I do know this. I do know this about dreams. When you do have nightmares, it just means that you're concerned about certain things, that you feel strongly about certain things, that you always want to go right, and that you never want them to go wrong. Like when you have loved ones that you care about and you think about them all the time, and then you don't want bad things to happen to them, and then when you have a nightmare, it may be an indication that you're just over worrying about that person you love, or a situation that you love.
I think dreams are important, but I think they're kind of like horoscopes. You can be a slave to them, but there's a way out of that. There's freedom from that.
I hope so.
I know that
I hope
route,
so.
and most of us do, but well, not most of us, but a few of us. But there's no reason to be a slave to your dreams any more than there is to be. Oh, I read my horoscope in the newspaper today, and boy, I'll tell you, I'm not even going to leave the house. It's so damn awful. There's yeah. So.
You got to live your life. You've got to move on. Gather the info. Just like we were talking about earlier with music, you can learn all the things, do all the brain work around it, and then just live your life. Do the thing.
Yeah. I have dreams that I buy my old house, the house that I grew up in.
Aww.
Back in Sherman, Texas. Oh my gosh, I love that house. It was the cutest little house. And my dad did so much to it, and it was just the nicest place in the world. And then when I have that dream that the house is up for sale and I buy it, every single time that I have that dream, in the dream, I'm convinced that this is real now, that this is not a dream. Even in the dream, I'm thinking, this is not a dream. It's real. And then I in the dream, I go to sleep, and then I wake up and I'm in the same house, and I'm like, this is real. This is finally real. Someday I'd love to buy that house again. Someday I would.
Maybe you will.
It's tempting. But then I finally wake up and I'm like, damn it. It's another dream.
Oh man. Well, this has been a blast.
I've designed my place actually to make it look like the spirit of my old house.
Oh, the spirit. Anyway, well, that's a great place to wrap things up. The spirit of your old house. I love it. Not just the spirit of the people, but the spirit of the house.
We could write songs. We could write songs.
Oh, what is that song? There is a song. There is a house in New Orleans. They call it
in New Orleans.
I'm not going to sing.
The rising sun.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I'll leave that to you guys. All right. Well, this has been a blast. I want to remind you guys, and I want to remind everybody to go check out the socials, the Opium Western socials, and find the link to the new Opium Western merch shop. Grab a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Grab a sticker.
I like I like the t-shirt, the 1 second from the 1 second on the top.
Yeah, I saw that.
I like that
comment
one.
You made.
I also want the shirt. I also would like the shirt.
You don't want that shirt. It's a crop top. You're going to walk around with a crop top. That'd be hilarious. You should do it.
A crop top.
All right. Yes, we will all be sporting our new Opium Western gear here pretty soon. Fun times. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out today.
Thank you so much, as always.
This has been Opium Western Radio. No script, no filter, just the music and everything around it. Creative contributors Dane Mulligan, Steve Fraze, Brian Lawson. Music by Opium Western. Sprinkled with magic by Kimberly Henry. Subscribe wherever you listen and find us at opiumwestern.com. Rock on!